Hi, you guys. I'm Coach Nikki Warren, and today we are talking about the importance of love and how we can manifest more love into our lives. How and why is it important? So the first thing I want to ask, and I don't know if you have like your journal or a pen near you, but what is for you, why is manifesting more love in your life important right now? And I know for me that I'm going through hard stuff, and I think probably you are too. I think our whole planet is going through things that are pretty tough, and it's very easy to get caught up in the negativity of life because there's a lot out there. There's a lot out on news. There's a lot of fear. There's just a lot, right? We have a lot going on, and there's a lot in our mind. But what I want us to do collectively is make a pact to bring more love, empathy, and compassion into the world that will elevate and make people just feel better, right? Make people just feel better, feel more happy. So before we start, let's take a big breath. If you can, maybe stand up, shake your arms out, inhale, stretch up to the sky. Big breath. So today I want to talk about like a meditation of bringing more love into the world. So if you do have your journal, and if this resonates with you, don't write anything that doesn't resonate with you, but just write, I bring more love into the world. So that's going to be just like our mantra is, I bring more love into the world. And when times get tough, look for an opportunity to offer love and compassion to people around you, and most importantly, to yourself. What I know for sure is that when you invite love to flow through every piece of your life, so not just when it's easy. So we're not talking about like the love of like a relationship or new love or the love that maybe as a mother that you insist that your family gives to people even if they're not being great. So that's like you have to love your family, or you're in love with your significant other, or, you know, all the different like traditional ways to think of love. But what I want us to think about love is letting love start deep within you, and then letting that love and that feeling flow into every single thing into your life as much as possible. So let's take a second and breathe into our heart space. Love is such a cool thing because you think about your heart as like, you know, just biologically, it's like pumping blood through your system. We're going to actually talk about our vagus nerve too. And the biology of our body is meant to love. We are compassionate beings, and we thrive on loving each other, loving ourselves. And the more that we can realize that it's actually a biological need to be loved and to love. So take a second. If you don't mind, close your eyes or just a light gaze and just place both hands on your heart. When you take a big breath, just even breathe into like the front space of your heart. Big inhale. Big exhale. I'm going to be quiet just for a minute so you can actually feel your heart beating into your hands. Breathe into the back of your heart, the back space of your heart. Now, as you blink your eyes open, just those few breaths that you were breathing into your heart, it makes you feel a little better. It makes you feel like you can actually feel the energy of your heart radiating into your hands and beating that blood and that love for your body all over. So when life gets tough, taking a second and breathing is like one of my biggest tools in creating more like love to things that are hard in my life. So when say if you and I are having a hard conversation and I want to come to this difficult conversation with love and compassion and seeing your story and understanding where you're coming from. And I want to have like this real conversation, try to peel away ego and all of these things. The first thing I'm going to do is breathe into that space of my heart. And so you might not even know that I'm doing that. I'm breathing into the front of my heart, breathing into the back of my heart, telling myself just to calm my nerves, and then be able to say, how can I enter this conversation with more love, more compassion, and more understanding that everybody is going through hard things. Okay, so if we're thinking about why we want to bring more love into our lives, write down just a few things that love brings to your life. So when you're thinking about like the love of your job, and a lot of times like our job cannot be very loving and can be like a hard space, but how can you bring more why is it important to love what you do every day? Why is it important to love the people around you? And most importantly, love yourself. So the first thing that we always want to start with is like, why is that important to us? And it's because we're biologically meant for that. So if we can think about love as like the North Star, and every opportunity that we have in life, to actually ask ourselves to follow that North Star, follow the love in life, and think about like, okay, in every situation, like when you wake up, how can you love yourself a little more by drinking lemon water, by waking up first thing and having a positive mantra of, I love the day that was given to me, instead of waking up and being like, I'm tired, is it smoky? All of these things that sometimes we have layered on, that is layers of negativity and not layers of different ways of finding the way to start your day with love and finish your day with love. Okay, so what I know for sure is there's no true success. I think I posted something about it the other day, but I'm horrible about repeating beautiful quotes. I have to write them down. But the one thing for sure is that true success comes from being in love with what you're doing and your life. And I know the more that we can bring love to each other and compassion, then the more that we can create success. And success comes in so many different things. I think sometimes you say success and you think like financial success, but really having successful relationships, having success in your career, having success with your family, and having success with your health and with your body. Okay, so the next thing I just want to share with you quickly is, which I thought was really cool. So I read a book it's Love 2.0 from Barbara Fredrickson. It was really good. So if you guys want a book on love, I think you'll really like it. And she talks about your vagus nerve. So it's your 10th cranial nerve. It connects deep in the back of your skull and makes its way all the way down to your heart. So your vagus nerve is connected to your heart. And people who have higher vagal tones have more success in life. So they're just easier to adapt to things. So this vagus nerve that goes from your head to your heart is connected, and people who can, and this is something you can develop just like your muscle, you can help yourself strengthen your vagal tones by repeatedly thinking about things and doing things that bring more love into your life. Cool, right? So it seems like, again, we're going back to the biology of the more that you can meditate, the more that you can pray or whatever that is to you, the more that we think about how we want our lives and train ourselves to look at hard situations in a more loving way, to look at hard situations and say, how can I find love in this situation? The more we're actually strengthening our vagus nerve. And then studies show that we are more flexible and better able to deal with stresses in our life, physical issues. We actually even digest our food better. Like we have less inflammation in our body. We can digest our food more effectively. So when you're thinking about this vagus nerve and knowing that when you are training your vagus nerve, I'm going to give you a few things to leave with, to think about training your body, training your mind, and training your heart to release more oxytocin in the world. So that oxytocin is like, it's like that love, that passion, and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, I feel so good. That's the oxytocin that's released in your mind when great things happen. So we're biologically made for love. So again, close your eyes really quick, or just think about one time or somebody that you really love. So I did a meditation on this that I'm going to share with you guys, and I'll share it with you later today. But close your eyes and think of somebody that you really love, somebody that makes your heart happy, and just let that like feeling of like love and excitement. It could be an event, it could be a person. Let that radiate around your heart space. Take a nice deep breath, feeling that feeling of love. And then as you open your eyes, when we feel overwhelming love for other people and overwhelming love for even like situations. So, sometimes like you'll come to a workout at Kaya and you leave and you're like, dang, I'm happy. Like, why am I so happy right now? That was torture and I love it. Like, what is going on? And it's because so it goes back to like our vagus nerve. It goes back to releasing all of this in like serotonin from our stomach, serotonin from our mind. The more that we are connected together in a positive place, in a positive situation, and the more that we can experience happy moments, then the more we have all of that happy juice running through our body, and we're able to strengthen that vagus nerve and able to deal with things in a more productive way. So, okay, I'm gonna leave you guys with a little bit of homework. So grab your pen and a piece of paper. So today, your goal is to create 3 loving moments. And it can be anything from like, say you're going for a walk and you look up and you smile at somebody and you say, have a great day. Maybe it's being more kind and compassionate to your kiddos who are trying to do this like virtual learning, whatever it is. Three opportunities for loving moments today. So write it down, put it on a sticky, and then I'd love for you to share it with me. The next thing is our meditation. So write this down. It's just a loving kindness meditation, and it's something that you can repeat in the morning. It's something that you can repeat through the day. Sometimes when I go to sleep at night, I'll just say it over and over because it kind of takes some of like the talk out of my brain. So may I feel safe. So if you want to write it down. So may I feel safe. May I feel happy. May I feel healthy. And may I live with ease. So those are just some of the things that I'll repeat to myself like over and over. And of course, just make it your own. But our one just like meditation or our one affirmation is let's just bring more love to the world. So when a situation comes that's hard, is how can I bring more love to the world? My job is to bring more love to the world. And so sometimes when we want to spice back at somebody who's spicy to us, say that over. My job is to bring more love into this world. Okay, well, I hope this helped you guys. I know it made my heart full of love to see each and every one of you this morning. Thank you so much for connecting with me, and let me know of the 3 things that you've done today, because love and bringing lovely moments into other people's lives, you think there's not a big shift, but what you don't see is the ripple effect of just doing one kind thing to somebody, one kind thing, and then that person takes that kind thing in that loving moment and will continue it on, and then all of a sudden your 3 loving moments of the day that you've shared with somebody else will continue on and surround our world with more love and compassion, which I know we all need. Okay, you guys have an awesome day. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next Friday, if not sooner.